The cameras flashed. The crowd froze. And just like that, Hollywood had a new obsession.
It really did.
Welcome to Starscope Report. Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
Right. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today's deep dive is, well, it's a big one.
Oh, massive.
We are unpacking the exact moment David Beckham just reached his breaking point.
Yeah, the tension has been building for years, honestly.
It really has. We are looking at one of the most explosive family feuds in modern celebrity history. We've got this massive stack of fresh reporting from Page 6, The Independent, LED Bible, and insights from some top PR experts.
And the goal here is to really extract the actual mechanics of modern fame from all the PR spin.
Exactly. I want you, yes, you listening right now, to think about the last time you saw a globally recognized family brand just publicly detonate.
It's a rare thing to see up close.
It is. Think about the exact moment that line between a deeply personal tragedy and a cynical commercial opportunity completely evaporates. Because that's exactly what we're exploring today.
It's a wild ride.
And hey, if you're loving these Hollywood twists, make sure you're subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead.
So, to really set the factual stage here, we need to look closely at that Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony.
Right, back in June.
Yeah, June 12, 2026. Because it wasn't just an event, It was this absolute masterclass in brand valuation.
Picture the scene. The blazing California sun is beating down on Hollywood Boulevard. And you have soccer legend David Beckham standing there looking every bit the global icon as he receives his star.
And the crowd is packed. You've got Tom Cruise cheering in the front row.
Oh, yeah.
You've got Victoria, Romeo Cruz, and 14-year-old Harper all just beaming.
It's the picture-perfect culmination of this decades-long legacy with the real story.
Right, the real story isn't the star on the pavement.
Exactly. It's the glaring 20-minute gap down the road, because just a short drive away, in his Los Angeles mansion, Beckham's eldest son, Brooklyn, sits in absolute intentional silence.
And it's a silence designed to be deafening. It really signals this catastrophic failure in what has arguably been the most tightly controlled celebrity narrative of the last 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, let's look at David's speech that day. It was so carefully calibrated.
Oh, completely. He leaned heavily into his origins, calling himself a, quote, working-class English soccer player who grew up in the East End of London.
Right, obsessed with American action heroes.
Exactly. He described achieving this milestone as surreal. He even made sure to thank Tom Cruise, pointing out this wild, full-circle moment where his and Victoria's very first movie date was going to see Jerry Maguire.
That detail is almost too perfect, isn't it?
It really is.
I mean, it grounds a multimillionaire in this incredibly nostalgic, relatable 1990s folklore, and Victoria played her role flawlessly, too.
She joked to the press that she genuinely thought the star was for her performance in the 1997 movie Spice World.
Which is brilliant. You are looking at Brand Beckham operating at absolute peak efficiency there. It's warm, it's humble, but it remains just untouchably glamorous.
But, that peak efficiency only highlights the malfunction going on behind the scenes.
Because Brooklyn, who is 27 now, was the glaring omission.
Right. And when reporters from Variety pressed David about the vicious media coverage surrounding his family's strife, David's media training just immediately overrode his vulnerability.
He shut it down.
Completely shut it down. He called it a private matter and insisted that family always comes first.
Which is the classic line.
Right, noting that family unity is the only mechanism that makes an empire work when you've been in the spotlight that long.
Well, let me jump in here, because Brooklyn lives 20 minutes away from Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
To intentionally not show up for a lifetime achievement milestone of that magnitude, that isn't just a scheduling conflict.
No, not at all.
It is a deliberate, neon-lit snub broadcast to the entire entertainment industry. So to understand the root of this Cold War, we have to trace the timeline back.
We do.
How does a famously tight-knit family arrive at this freezing point?
Well, the reporting from LED Bible and ITV News points us to a highly specific time and place, April 2022, down in Florida.
Right, the wedding.
Yes, Brooklyn's wedding to Nicola Peltz at her billionaire father's estate.
A massive event.
Huge. And the initial media narrative suggested that the friction began as this fashion dispute. Specifically, that Nicola chose to wear a custom Valentino wedding dress instead of a design from Victoria Beckham's own fashion house.
Which we see framed all the time as a classic, petty mother-in-law versus daughter-in-law clash.
Right.
But if we look at the mechanics of the fashion and influencer industries, that is actually a massive B2B snub.
Oh, absolutely.
A billionaire heiress rejecting her mother-in-law's primary commercial enterprise on a globally televised stage. That isn't just a dress choice. It's a rejection of a corporate merger.
That is such a crucial lens to view this through. But the visceral breaking point, according to new revelations this week, wasn't actually about fabric.
Wait, really?
Yeah. DJ Fat Tony, whose real name is Tony Marnock, went on ITV's This Morning and revealed a completely different catalyst.
Oh, wow.
And what is most revealing is how this information came out. Marnock admitted he was speaking publicly because Brooklyn and Nicola specifically mobilized him via a WhatsApp group chat.
That detail fascinates me.
It's wild, right?
Yes. Instead of releasing a slick statement through a Beverly Hills publicist, they mobilized their wedding DJ to act as a pseudo-spokesperson on daytime television.
Yeah, it bypasses the usual channels.
It feels like a very deliberate PR mechanism to make the leak look authentic and like grassroots.
It circumvented traditional PR entirely. So, according to Marnock, the incident happened during the wedding reception. Singer Mark Anthony took the microphone and asked for the most beautiful woman in the room to come to the stage for a dance. Now, the entire room naturally assumed he was calling up the bride, Nicola, for a spotlight dance with Brooklyn.
Of course.
But instead, Victoria Beckham took the stage to dance with her son.
Oh my gosh. Let's pause on the mechanics of that moment.
Yeah.
How does a mother hijack a bride's spotlight at her own wedding?
I know.
The optics of control there are just staggering.
And the reports state that Nicola was so overwhelmed by the shift in attention that she left the room in tears.
Wow.
And Brooklyn wouldn't address this publicly for years until he posted that massive 6-page Instagram manifesto in January 2026.
6 pages.
6 pages. He wrote that his mother hijacked his dance and danced very inappropriately on him in front of his new in-laws, stating he had never felt more humiliated.
A 6-page Instagram manifesto is the nuclear option in the influencer age.
Oh, completely.
He bypassed all media gatekeepers and took a flamethrower to the family brand. I mean, he claimed his parents tried to sabotage his marriage. He explicitly accused them of valuing public promotion and endorsements above all else.
Which is a heavy accusation.
And he claimed they tried to bribe him over his own naming rights. He wrote that performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships were inescapable fixtures of the life he was born into.
And then he sends them a formal legal letter.
Yes, demanding they only communicate with him through his attorney.
And this brings us to the sheer absurdity of Harper fame. According to multiple reports, Victoria actually violated that strict legal boundary.
By doing what?
By liking a picture of his roast chicken on Instagram.
I have to laugh. I really do. But let's elevate the analysis here because it sounds ridiculous. A legal cease and desist violated by a like on poultry.
Right.
But in the influencer economy, an Instagram like actually is a measurable metric of engagement and endorsement.
Exactly.
In a weird modern legal way, Brooklyn's lawyer is arguing that a like from Victoria Beckham is an unauthorized brand association.
It's so true.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's like watching a massive corporate merger fail. You have brand Beckham colliding with the Peltz billionaire dynasty. But my question to you is, at what point does a family boundary just become a PR strategy?
Well, the contradiction at the heart of Brooklyn's strategy is fascinating. Because by publicly airing these grievances in a manifesto, he is utilizing the exact publicity machinery he claims to despise.
Right.
He says he and Nicola want a life free of image manipulation and press intrusion, yet they are actively participating in narrative shaping by having people like DJ Fat Tony go on national television to defend them.
It's all so calculated.
When your entire existence has been a brand, even your rebellion against that brand is conducted via press release.
And that's not even the wildest part. If you think an Instagram manifesto is dramatic, wait until you hear how a 14-year-old's handwritten note turned into a full-blown paparazzi conspiracy.
This specific incident is where the narrative shifts away from high society squabbling and it becomes genuinely heartbreaking.
It really does. So immediately following the Walk of Fame ceremony, 14-year-old Harper Beckham pulls up to Brooklyn and Nicola's Los Angeles mansion in an SUV. She's reportedly still wearing the exact same outfit she wore to her dad's ceremony. She steps out, holding what appears to be a handwritten letter, clearly intending to hand-deliver an olive branch to her older brother.
Right.
The twist, Brooklyn and Nicola aren't even there. They're in New York.
And the fallout from this moment was instantaneous and brutal. According to page 6, Brooklyn's representatives immediately went to the press.
Unbelievable.
They stated that because photographers were waiting outside the house when Harper arrived, the entire visit was, quote, choreographed for the cameras by David and Victoria.
Wow.
His camp explicitly framed it as a staged public display designed to make the parents look forgiving rather than a spontaneous, genuine gesture from a younger sister.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because Brooklyn claims in his manifesto that he wants a life free of image, press, or manipulation. But isn't blasting your 14-year-old sister's olive branch to page 6 the exact kind of media manipulation he claims to hate?
I mean, let's look at the mechanics of a paparazzi tip-off to understand why Brooklyn's camp might suspect this.
Okay.
Photographers don't just magically appear on quiet, secluded Los Angeles streets at the exact moment a celebrity sibling arrives.
That's fair.
PR teams frequently use encrypted messaging apps to share grid coordinates, license plates, and precise arrival times to create a spontaneous photo op. So by exposing this potential setup, Brooklyn isn't just complaining, he's pulling back the curtain on the industry's supply chain of manufactured reality.
I see your point about the supply chain, but the emotional toll here, the collateral damage, is undeniable.
Oh, absolutely.
Sources close to the family told the Daily Mail that Victoria was completely gutted. Friends of the family told reporters that Brooklyn's public accusation is horrible and nasty. Yeah. They pointed out the immense cruelty of leveling a PR accusation at an innocent young girl who just desperately misses her brother. The reports detail that Harper and her grandparents were left absolutely inconsolable by this public rejection.
It's awful. But to be fair to the sources from Brooklyn's camp, we have to consider his psychological baseline.
What do you mean?
Growing up inside a literal reality TV-style bubble leaves you with zero baseline for normal human communication.
Right.
If every birthday party, every vacation, and every family milestone you ever experienced was quietly sponsored or meticulously photographed, you might genuinely lose the ability to trust any gesture.
That makes sense.
When a family is this famous, they lose the luxury of assuming good intentions. Every interaction is viewed through the lens of a publicity stunt.
That is a staggering reality to live in.
Oh.
There is no safe space to just be a sister missing a brother. Every driveway approach is evaluated as a potential photo op, and every handwritten note is treated as potential evidence in a PR war. Could this be the biggest scandal of the year? Maybe. But later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking commercial twist nobody saw coming, one that has PR experts warning Brooklyn's career might be over.
We are about to look at the exact moment where deeply personal trauma officially transitions into sponsored content.
Stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
So, if standard PR protocol during a vicious family crisis dictates that you hide, lay low, and let the dust settle, Brooklyn's next move proves he is throwing out the playbook entirely.
Completely throwing it out.
Because instead of retreating to heal, he monetized the silence.
Yes. Amidst all of this family devastation we just detailed, the legal letters, the crying sister, the devastated grandparents, Brooklyn stars in a commercial for DoorDash.
It's wild.
And this isn't just a random ad placement. The marketing team specifically timed this commercial to drop during the 2026 World Cup opening match.
The U.S. versus Paraguay match.
Exactly.
And the timing is aggressively strategic.
Right.
That opening match took place at the Los Angeles Stadium. David Beckham was physically in attendance in the VIP box, alongside Tom Cruise and the rest of the unified Beckham family, acting as an ambassador for the sport.
Right.
It is peak brand Beckham territory. And DoorDash bought an ad right in the middle of it. This is a textbook example of ambush marketing.
The cinematic visual of this ad is what really twists the knife, though.
Oh, yeah.
You have Brooklyn sitting alone in a beautifully lit living room, looking directly into the camera with this sly, knowing smile. He casually throws a pair of premium match tickets onto the table, and he says, quote, "You're probably wondering why I'm watching the FIFA World Cup 2026 from home. It's a long story."
And then it cuts to the logo.
Right. DoorDash captioned it. It's complicated. More soon.
It is a breathtakingly bold and cynical move. To take a highly publicized, deeply painful estrangement from your family and use it as the punchline to sell fast food delivery shows a radical shift in celebrity monetization.
It really does.
Blast the Radio compiled analysis from several top PR professionals, and the industry reaction was universally damning.
What were they saying?
Well, let's look at Andy Barr, the head of brand communications at Season 1 Comms. He called this, quote, the beginning of the end for brand Brooklyn.
Why the end? Doesn't this generate massive engagement for him?
You'd think so, but Barr argued that major corporate brands, the ones that pay the real money for long-term partnerships, they measure risk very carefully.
Ah.
They are going to look at this DoorDash stunt and be aghast. Barr noted that brands will now steer clear of him because he has demonstrated that he is willing to exploit a sad, volatile family situation for a quick payout. It makes him unpredictable.
And toxic to family-friendly advertisers.
Exactly. And then Sean O'Mara, a strategic communications managing director, went even further. He dubbed the campaign a complete PR disaster class.
A disaster class.
Yeah. He called the sly public digs cheap, petty, and arrogant. O'Mara posed a really cutting question to the industry. Does Brooklyn need the money so badly that he is willing to air his family's dirty laundry in a sponsored ad?
So what does this all mean for you and me? It makes you wonder, if your family trauma becomes your best source of income, how can you ever afford to heal?
That is the crucial structural insight here. Brooklyn complained about his parents valuing public promotion and endorsements above all else, yet here he is, literally monetizing his estrangement from his family for a food delivery app.
The hypocrisy is just glaring.
By monetizing the rift, Brooklyn has financially guaranteed that the rift will persist. Notice the copy at the end of the ad, DoorDash teased, more soon.
Right.
That directly implies an ongoing multi-part campaign built entirely on the premise of his isolation. You physically cannot reconcile with your father if your current paycheck depends on you ignoring him.
It's phenomenal. He wrote a 6-page manifesto declaring he was building a fortress to keep his parents' toxic branding out of his life. But then he immediately sold the naming rights to the fortress to a delivery app.
It proves that he hasn't escaped brand Beckham at all. He has merely created a hostile spin-off.
A spin-off, yes.
But the inherent danger with spin-offs built purely on negative drama is that the audience eventually suffers from fatigue. If your only cultural relevance is being furious at your famous parents, what happens to your market value when people inevitably stop caring that you're mad?
Well, if we look at the comment section on that DoorDash ad, the audience is already reaching that point.
Yeah, it was brutal.
People were directly challenging him, writing things like, if you hate them so much, drop the last name and stop profiting from the association.
Wow.
The public sees right through the veneer. Viewers were freeze-framing the ad to spot his incredibly expensive camera and luxury watch in the background, contrasting his vast inherited wealth with his ongoing complaints of victimhood.
It's just a total mess. If we synthesize this entire journey we've mapped out today, it begins with the blinding flashbulbs on Hollywood Boulevard, a moment of ultimate traditional triumph for a kid from the East End of London who conquered the globe. Then the narrative forces us to pan over to the quiet, untelevised heartbreak of a 14-year-old girl standing on a doorstep with a rejected handwritten note.
So sad.
And it ultimately culminates in a highly produced, deeply cynical fast food commercial that intercepts that real human pain and processes it into a marketing gimmick.
It is a masterclass in how fame distorts basic human relationships.
It really is.
It actively turns family members into rival brands.
When the cameras are always on, or when you suspect they might be, nothing is allowed to remain sacred. Not a mother-son dance at a wedding reception, not a teenage sister's visit to your home, and certainly not a family's legacy. Everything is content.
So I want to leave you with this final, lingering question to mull over. If brand Beckham was built for decades on the illusion of a perfect tight-knit family, what happens to an empire when the product they're selling no longer exists?
Right.
Are we entering an era where the most profitable thing a celebrity can do is tear their own legacy apart? It's something to think about. You've been listening to Starscope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.